Hello and welcome to Redprint Laravel App Builder installation and deployment video. In this video, we will show you how you can properly install a Laravel application or the Redprint Laravel App Builder on your local machine, and once you're done developing, how you can deploy it on your production server. The prerequisites for installing Redprint Laravel App Builder is no different than the prerequisites of properly installing any Laravel application. You will need a Apache or Nginx server running PHP 7.1.3 or greater, the PHP ext file info plugin enabled for file upload, and a database server such as MySQL, Postgres, or MariaDB. If you are on a Linux machine, you can install any LAMP stack to get all these dependencies installed and configured automatically for you, or on Mac OS you can choose any MAMP stack, and for Windows you can choose WAMP stacks or WAMP installers that are available on the internet. For this video tutorial, we are going to use Windows operating system and the Bitnami WAMP stack for dependency installation. The Bitnami WAMP can be downloaded from the Bitnami official website, or you can just Google Bitnami WAMP and it will take you to this page. As you can see, Bitnami WAMP is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux, so you can choose it no matter which operating system you're using, or you can actually use any of your preferred local development stack like XAMPP or any other that you like. In our case, we can just download the 64-bit version because it comes with PHP 7.1.18, which is pretty good for us. Or if you want even more updated version of PHP, you can choose between the last two here. Alright, so we have already downloaded and installed Bitnami WAMP on our local machine. The installation directory is d apps bitnami. Yours might be different from me, so just follow the instructions and you'll have no problem at all. For XAMPP or AMP or any other stack users, the tutorial from now on is the same, so hang tight. The directory that we are interested in is the Apache 2 directory. This Apache 2 directory contains the Apache configuration and storage directories. The storage for all local application installers is the htdocs directory. So if you're going to install a Laravel or any PHP application, you're meant to copy the installation files over here. We have already downloaded a copy of Redprint Laravel App Builder here, copied it on our htdocs directory and extracted it. First, so as you can see, inside this directory we have all the Redprint Laravel App Builder installation files. The first thing I'll do is just rename it to something more meaningful. So let's call it Redprint Builder. You can name it anything you like. So once we're done with that, we are ready to execute this. Many of you make the mistake of running something like this. So localhost Redprint Builder public. So this is not the proper way to run Redprint or Laravel application. As you can see, we have broken CSS because of this. So the proper way to run a Laravel application is to create a virtual host. In this step, I am going to show you how you can create a virtual host on a Apache server. For Nginx, it is even easier. You just have to create a server inside the nginx.conf file. For most users, this should work just fine. So in your Apache 2 directory, you have a conf directory. This is the Apache configurations directory. Inside this, we'll open the httpd.conf file. Here, search for vhosts. And in your case, this line might have been commented out like this. If that's the case, just remove the commenting and save this file. Next, open up this file on your favorite editor. So we'll open it on Sublime Text, extra httpd vhost.conf. We'll probably see something like this. Here you'll have to create your virtual host. So let's create our first virtual host here. Virtual host. We're going to assign this virtual host to port 80 because that is the default HTTP port, and then close this tag. Then define the document root. In our case, the document root is Apache 2 htdocs Redprint Builder public. This is our document root. Why? Because the public folder contains the index.php, which actually executes and runs the whole Laravel application just like you did here. So this is our document root. Then give it a server name. In our case, we're going to name it like builder.local. That sounds good. And then we have to give this directory proper permissions. To do so, we'll write directory, then again paste this directory, and then close this directory tag. Inside the directory tag, write require all granted. This basically tells Apache to accept any directory modifiers that are present in this directory. In our case, we have a htaccess file which comes default with Laravel that tells how the rewrites will happen. And so this is very important to require the grant all the permissions to this directory. Once you're done doing this, you're not yet ready to use this virtual host. What you have to do is enable this virtual host on your host file. Depending on your operating system, the host file is located at different locations. For Linux and Mac OS, you would probably do something like sudo nano, or you can use vim sudo nano etc/hosts. So you can just Google how to edit the host file and you'll get plenty of resources on the internet, but this should generally work for you. So we are on Windows and our host file is located elsewhere. We're going to edit it using Notepad. So to do so, open the Notepad, but do remember to open Notepad or any other code editor or file editor that you're going to use as administrator. This is important just for this step because it will allow us to write to the host file, which is otherwise protected for security reasons. So once you're done opening the Notepad in administrator mode, go ahead and click on File, Open, and then go to C, Windows. In your case, the drive might be different. Windows, then System32, then etc, drivers, then etc, and inside this etc file directory we have the host file, but it's not showing because the text editor is looking for just text files. We're going to change it like so, and now we can see the host file. So open up the host file, and here at the bottom of this, create a new localhost, virtual host. So this is the localhost IP address 127.0.0.1. Everyone probably knows that. And here you want to copy and paste your server name. Great. So now we are almost ready to run this virtual host. All we need to do is restart our Apache server. This is required because we made changes to the Apache configuration files. So let's go ahead and restart our Apache server. To do so, you have to go to the bitnami installation directory, and there you'll see that there is a manager windows.exe. Run it, and then go to Manage Servers and restart the Apache server. Once you are done restarting the Apache server, you can then just go ahead and load this URL on your browser. And voila, we have successfully run the Redprint Laravel App Builder on a local machine, and this doesn't have this kind of broken CSS either. So once here, you have to go ahead and use the Redprint Laravel App Builder installer. So go to /install and start the installation process. So it's checking for requirements. We already have a greater version of PHP installed. We have 7.1.13. It requires at least 7.1. Next, the file permissions are of course all right in local machine. Now we can name it anything, so let's name it Builder. App environment, keep it Redprint because we are on development machine. App debug is true, and our address is actually builder.local. Okay, then set up database. So before proceeding into this step, you'd want to create your database. So in this case, Bitnami comes up pre-installed with phpMyAdmin. You can access phpMyAdmin like so, localhost /phpMyAdmin. You can use any MySQL editor or viewer like SQL Pro or Navicat or whatever you like. In our case, we're using phpMyAdmin because it is very easily available, obtainable, and almost universal. So we access the phpMyAdmin like so on our local host, and then let's create a new database for our installation. So we click on New, and let's name it Builder, Create. So we have created the Builder database, and we're going to use it for installation. So my database connection is MySQL. You can use any of this if your database server is different. So this is the database host, that's fine too. This is the default MySQL port, this is fine too. And our database name is Builder, and the database username is root, and in our case the password is this. So you can set your MySQL root username when you're installing Apache or the LAMP stack or WAMP stack, whatever you are using. So you should probably know the database username and passwords. So once we're done filling up this form, click on Install, and alright, so the application has been successfully installed, and it gave me a username and a password to access it as well. So I'm going to exit it here and then click on the login and use the username and password that I got after the installation. Cool. So now it asks for the license verification. I already have the license copied, and so I have activated my copy of Redprint Laravel App Builder and ready to use it. So now in this step, I'm going to use the Redprint Laravel App Builder to build some CRUDs, and when I'm done developing, I'm going to upload it or deploy it to a production server. Let's see how that goes. So here on Builder, I'm going to create my first CRUD. That will be cars, because I like cars. Car, and then make, like the maker of this car, and build. Cool. So I have created my first CRUD successfully. I'm going to add a brand will be BMW. Okay, cool. So let's say my development on this end is finished. Now I want to deploy it to production server, and I don't want to see any of these Redprint builder tools on my production server, simply because it is not a great idea to provide your system users some tool that can generate code that is not secure anyway. So to do so, it is very simple to go to production mode. Just go to the installation of your Redprint Laravel App Builder, open up the env file, and here change the env from Redprint to production or anything. So if you change it from Redprint, all the Redprint features will be gone, and you can see that that page is not available anymore at all. Now now if you log into the backend again, super_user at app dot, you'll see that all the Redprint related features are gone. All you have is the role permission management and the CRUD that you created using Redprint. Isn't that amazing? Great. Even, if you don't like this, you don't want the permissible role and permission modifiers, you can even disable them as well. Go to config and open up the permissible menu. Here say user management routes and type false, and then refresh this, and even user management routes are gone. Then, well, that's it. You can even do a false here, and all the permissible routes are now gone. So once you're done doing all this and you're ready to upload this or deploy this to production, all you need to do is go ahead and zip all this here, and upload it to your production server. We're going to show how you can deploy this application on a shared hosting server for this tutorial. So let's go ahead, IntelliHub. We have a demo server for this sort of things, so I'm just going to use it /cpanel. So this is a cpanel based server. So on this server, I'm going to go on to first creating the domain, so subdomain. So I go to subdomains and I create a new subdomain called builder, builder.intellihub.net, and the document root will be public_html/builder/public, because of course you know that all our Laravel files are initiated from the public directory. Okay, so we create this document subdomain. Now builder.intellihub.net is ready, but there is of course no files in it. So now we're going to upload the files in it. So we have public_html, then inside it we have builder and public. Just just go ahead and delete this public directory because we already have it, and then upload your installation files here. Select and htdocs, redprint builder, app.zip or zipped file. We're going to upload it on the production server and let it get uploaded. In the meantime, we have some other tasks that we can finish while this uploading goes on. That is to create a MySQL database. So go ahead to the MySQL databases section. Here, create a new MySQL database. Let's call it intelli2_builder. Create a database. Then create a user redprint. Let's call our user redp. So intelli2_redp, and give it a password. I'm going to use the password generator real quick. copy this. I have copied use password, and let's keep this password handy for when we require it, and create the user. So we have created the user and we have created a database. Now we have to add this user to the database. Add user to database, and we add IntelliJ2_redp user to the IntelliJ2 builder database. Add, and then it asks what permission you want to allow this. We're going to allow all the permissions, and we're done. So we have added IntelliJ2_builder database on our server, and we added the user IntelliJ2_redp to this database. Okay, so this is all done. Now all we need to do is install the system on our server. Oh, looks like the upload is stuck for some reason. Let's just try to upload it again. All right, let's try and upload it here. Okay. Wait for the upload to finish. So unfortunately the first time upload failed for some reason, or was stuck. So just to review all the steps that we've done, we have created a subdomain, and then we uploaded the files on that subdomain directory, and then we created a MySQL database and then added user to that database. Okay, so looks like our file upload is finished. So here we're going to extract it. Alright, great. So now all our files are extracted here as well. Now so we should be able to visit this site by builder.intellihub.net, like so, and it shows a white page of death. So no need to be panicked here. This is because this almost all the time this sort of shared hosting servers comes up with a lower version of PHP that is not supported by the latest version of Laravel, but they do have a way to change the PHP version that is located here, multi-PHP manager. If you don't have it, or your server does not support that sort of changing of PHP version, you just have to contact your hosting provider, hosting service provider, and ask them to upgrade your PHP to 7.1 or later. So there is no workaround or no way to bypass this. Latest version of Laravel requires you to have a PHP version greater than 7.1, so you must do that. There is no way you can avoid that. As you can see that the builder.intellihub.net actually has PHP 7.0 assigned to it. We don't want that. We click on check mark on it and then change the PHP version to 7.2 because that's the latest that we have here. And now our builder.intellihub.net have PHP 7.2. Great. Let's try and reload this page, and sure enough this time it loads perfectly. Let's wait for it to complete loading. Okay, great. Now we have to restore the database that we have on our local machine to this server machine. So to do so, you have to go to the phpMyAdmin here, and also to take the backup of the local installation, we have to go to the localhost phpMyAdmin as well. So this is our production server and this is our local server. On local server we have this builder database. Remember, we're going to export the SQL from here, like so, and then we're going to import this into the Intelli_2 builder. So let's import, browse, and downloads and builder.sql. This is the one that we exported from a local machine. Now we have imported in our local production server. Okay, so that's all good. The last step, and the last but not the least, the last step is to change our env variables inside the production server to match our credentials. So the first thing we need to change is the database name. It will be now Intelli2_builder. If you remember, the password is Intelli2_redp, and the password we have already copied it. So this is the password. Okay, and save changes. So now everything should be fine. Let's try to log into our backend on our production system. So should be the same, super_user at app.dev super_user. Great. And yes, so as you can see, builder.intellihub.net, which is our production server, now have the production copy of Redprint Laravel App Builder installed in it and working perfectly fine. Let's create another one. Let's call it Volkswagen and add them, and sure enough it works. So that's great. Hope you enjoyed this video and hope this is going to help you installing and deploying Redprint Laravel App Builder applications on your local hosts and production servers equally. Thank you so much.